So in this problem, we have negative 5 times p plus 3/5 equals negative 4. So there are a couple of different ways that we can solve this, but I'm going to show you the most common way, and it's going ahead and doing the distributive property. And the distributive property is telling me to take this right here and multiply it by everything on the inside. So we'll start there first. Negative 5 times p gives me negative 5p. Then I'm going to take the negative 5 and I'll multiply it by a positive 3/5. And remember, a negative times a positive will give me a negative. And negative 5 times 3/5, well, we can use our calculator to help us out on that. So let's do that. I'm going to plug in my calculator and I'm going to say the negative button right here, clear that out, negative 5 times, and then to put that 3/5 in, we're going to go 3 ABC 5. And so this is how we put negative 5 times 3/5. We hit enter and we get negative 3. So that would give me a negative 3 equals negative 4. Now that we've done that, we're going to check to see if we can combine any like terms. Well, actually we can't. We cannot combine any like terms on this side. And what we have is a basic two-step equation. And so with the two-step equations, we always get rid of our subtraction and addition first. So in this particular problem, in order to get rid of subtraction, we do the opposite by adding 3, and we do that to both sides. What happens is that cancels out, okay? And we get negative 5p is equal to, well, negative 4 plus 3 gives me a negative 1. All right, now we're going to divide by negative 5 on both sides, okay? And when I do, that cancels out and leaves me with p is equal to, and I have a negative 1 divided by negative 5. Well, remember your rules when it comes to negatives and multiplication and division. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. And I'm going to be, what I'm going to do now is I could put this in my calculator and it's going to give me an answer, but I don't want to put it in my calculator. I just want to keep it really simple. Negative 1 divided by negative 5 is going to give me a positive fraction of 1/5. All right, so depending on what you're doing, sometimes the answer is they want you to write it as a fraction. Well, in this case, it's really simple. Negative 1 divided by negative 5 is a positive 1/5, 1/5. If the question was asking for a decimal, well, then we could use our calculator and we could find out that p is equal to 0.02. All right, so these are your two possible answers that you could get. But I will say this, I feel like you're probably looking for one that needs a fraction. So the fraction would be 1/5.